folks, the lads by Edna and Harvey, the Breakout. And way last we left off, we truly are in the end game now. We've melted down the master key, which actually wasn't that masterful, and made it into a far more useful key. A copy of the front door key that will also unlock Edna's room. Once we get in there, the final memories that are sealed away in Edna's psyche will hopefully be revealed to her, and everything will finally make sense. But before we do that, we're going to examine everything one more time with the lighter, which we haven't used outside or on the ground floor, and with the repaired key, a new inventory item. Possibly the final new inventory item that we'll ever see. But before we do that, it's time to look at it ourselves.
I really managed that all right, didn't I?
That you did. It was a fine piece of key forging.
You are a masterpiece.
And you are the most improvisational locksmith of all time.
And a very successful one too. Now, let's have Harvey look at our handiwork.
Look, Harvey, I fixed the key.
Yay! Now we can go to your room. I bet we find some hints in your diary that'll help us end Dr. Marcel's sick game.
Here's the hoping. And also, we didn't fix the key, we made a new one. If we'd have fixed the key, this one wouldn't still be broken. But I suppose that doesn't matter in the end. Let's use the polo mallet with the key and smash it once more.
I'd better be careful. I don't want to break it again.
I can understand your caution. So we're going to use everything else that could possibly break it on it as well.
What's missing here is one of those keychain labels.
We should see if we can find one of them in your home. But first, let's use the potholders on this.
Yes, I should be careful with this key. I don't want to risk that happening again.
The game is most certainly not subtly hinting that we could break it again, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be broken. After all, it is made of gold. And it's recently been forged, within the last few minutes.
I'll just get the rust off the key, just to prevent it from breaking again.
I knew there was a reason why we kept this antioxidant around.
I will certainly not put the barkeeper's signature on there.
That is exactly the same.
I certainly will not.
And that is exactly the same. Peking shears?
I'd rather not. I've just fixed it.
That you have. Is there a signature that we can forge on this?
Hard to copy.
We've heard that one. Now, let's smash it with the shovel.
Shovel test successfully passed. I should really be a fitter.
Oh yeah, I want to be a big hitter too.
Why don't you listen? I want to be a fitter, not a hitter.
Great! You can exchange the padlock on my locker then.
Wait, you have a locker? What's in my locker? Oh, all the items that you possibly could have needed to finish all the puzzles a lot easier. Harvey, why didn't you let us get access to it? Oh, it's in a part of the game that hasn't been coded. Oh. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Now let's use the pliers here.
Let's pinch the key to pieces.
But I've just fixed it.
Aw, come on!
We are not at Dr. Marcel's place anymore, Harvey. We can't just go and break everything we want to now.
Well, actually you can, but you'd have to then fix it again. Now let us show the broken house key its fixed counterpart.
My replica is much more beautiful than the original, and more valuable too.
It certainly is more valuable. That's the whole gold thing coming into effect.
Even if this could work this way, I don't want to melt down this key again.
Despite my many efforts, we have failed to destroy it.
Use your toenail.
No, Harvey. I've got my own key now.
But toenail! Surprisingly, after using the toenail originally to get out of our cell, we haven't actually had very many uses for toenails since then. But that hasn't stopped me from searching. Oh, we've been searching.
I will definitely not melt that again.
Fair enough. Now let's start using these items on the few things in this area. Starting with the moon, because the moon is nice and obvious there, right above Edna. And also far off in space. And that is not one of the new items. This is.
forged in the moonlight from the purest gold.
It is truly a magical key.
Shall we set fire to the moon?
No, Harvey. We are regular, average, mentally stable citizens. Dr. Marcel is the one who's crazy, and we'll prove it.
Then maybe after we've proven it?
Yes. Then we can set fire to the moon.
Yippee!
Edna, you know what you just agreed to contradicts every... Never mind. Let's now look at the mailbox. First, with the lighter.
Do you remember how we used to set fire to the mailbox?
Yes. I remember all of it now. It was the perfect bait. We always hid behind a bush and let the air out of the fire engine's tires.
And now, time to use the key.
The fixed house key doesn't fit here. I'll need the small key for the mailbox.
To this day, we have not yet found the small key. One day. Maybe it's a hidden Easter egg, and we have to find it in the asylum and then keep it in our inventory despite the many attempts the game makes to get rid of it. And then you open it, and you get the super secret ultra hyper awesome ending! And then Edna becomes a level 70 wizard, and then we can defeat the final boss with our awesome quantum lightning. But unfortunately we didn't get the key, and I'm not going to play the whole game again just to get it, so you'll have to look that one up. Now it's time to use the lighter with the door. A door I bet that we can open using our repaired key.
We could just burn down the door.
Or we could just use the basement window again.
Both good suggestions. Let's flip a coin.
We lost that in the car wreck, remember?
What? Aww.
We did indeed... Wait, we had a coin? Wait, we had a coin? We lost the coin. Were we able to get another coin somehow? Oh, that news makes me sad. Time to open up the door.
While I'm at it, I'll remove this stupid warning tape.
There we go. Now we can go through to the main landing. But we're not going to yet. We have other things to look at, like the table and the French door. Let's start with the table.
I used to singe ants under this table until Alfred decided to lock away his ant farm.
I can't imagine why he'd want to do that, Edna. Maybe it was the fact that you were burning them.
Shall we search for hidden compartments?
Later, Harvey.
I get the feeling this key is going to serve much the same purpose as the master key for dialogue, but it's still worth checking.
Maybe if we set a blaze.
No, Harvey.
We are not setting fire to Edna's home. It's the only one she has.
The porch door can only be opened from the inside.
Oh, can we open it using this key? Be interesting if we can. Now let us see what happens if we use the key with the parasol.
Shall we search for hidden compartments?
Later, Harvey.
We're never going to be searching for hidden compartments, Harvey, though I do admire your dedication in asking.
Shall we burn the umbrella?
Oh, Harvey, look around you. Everything's broken.
We used to singe a lot of stuff back in the day.
Back in the day, everything was intact.
That it was. That's what 10 years of neglect can do. Now let's go to the shed. We can use things on the window, like the lighter. Let's actually highlight there. Let's use that. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky depending upon the screen.
I can see enough. This is the shed.
Or can you? Maybe it's actually a magical portal to another world that also happens to look exactly like the shed. If it was done well enough, would you know the difference?
The window can't be opened. But why should it? I can use the door.
Fair enough. Let's go through. There are quite a few things we can interact with here. Let's start with the shovel.
Clash of the elements! Clash of the elements!
Later, Harvey.
And thus, the clash of the elements never happened. You will not be seeing that in the cinemas, and you will not be getting the DVD and or Blu-ray.
Shall we search for hidden compartments?
Later, Harvey.
That's exactly the same. What about lighter with rake?
Shall we set the shed on fire?
No, Harvey. First, we need to prove that we're mentally stable. After that, We can set all the blazes we like.
You know that what you just said there contradicts the... Never mind, let's just, use the key with the rake.
Shall we, sir?
Later,
That's exactly the same. What about using the lighter with the lawnmower?
Mayhem! Yippee!
Behave yourself, Harvey. These are our things, not Dr. Marcel's.
No mayhem here. Not yet, anyway.
It's not a key that's missing here, it's gas.
And we haven't found any of that, so that will never work again. Darn it. Now let's use items on the gloves.
They're too moldy to be set on fire.
I think Harvey would disagree with you. He'd just tell you to use more fire.
These aren't exactly my kid gloves.
That they are not. Finally, we have the wheel and the paint. Lighter first.
I'm beginning to get fed up with all these stupid puns.
You're just mad because we never had any Hot Wheels.
I think secretly she's very mad about that, even though she's not conveying it. Keep at it, Harvey. You'll get to the truth eventually.
The bike isn't locked. It wouldn't make any sense if it was.
Wouldn't make any sense. You say that like it's a bad thing.
And thus, we see that Edna is changing a tiny bit more.
Look, Edna, it says highly flammable.
Come on, Harvey. We've got better things to do.
Oh, please, please, please.
All right. You see? Nothing. Are you satisfied now?
That's all? I lived for this moment all through our youth.
And?
Yippee?
There we go. A yippee was had, though it was a half-hearted one.
It's all about function with this, not about style.
And thus, we do not dip the key into the paint, and we move on to the next screen. We're almost at the basement already. There aren't actually that many things that we can interact with in this area, at least not outside. I imagine using things on the moon will yield the same reaction as using them on the other instance of the moon. Not the other moon, the Earth does not have two moons.
Shall we set
No, we are Dr.
Then maybe... Yippee!
That's exactly the same, and
Forged in the
that's exactly the same as well. Time to use things on the barrel, like the key.
It's already cooled off.
That it is! We don't need to dip it into some very brackish water. At least I think it's very brackish.
The water in this barrel has helped put out many a fire.
Most likely one started by you, if I were to take a guess. Now, let's use the lighter here.
We could just burn down the door.
Or we could just use the basement window again.
Both good suggestions. Let's flip a coin.
We lost that in the car wreck, remember?
What? Aww.
I just wanted to see if there was anything different there, considering that it's the back door. Now, let's unlock it. And we can go through whenever we like, but we're not going to, because we're instead going to go to the basement and use the key here.
My items are all still in good condition. They don't have to be burned yet.
Indeed. What about the lighter?
My items are all still in good... They don't have to be...
I think it would be more that the wood was being burned rather than the lighter being burned. But never mind. Let's move on and use things on the furnace.
It's already lit.
And it's roaring quite happily.
I will definitely not melt that again.
Fair enough. Now let us use these things on the items on the shelf, starting with the cans of paint.
Look, Edna.
Come on.
Oh, please.
All right. You see?
That's all?
And
That is exactly the same. What about the key?
it's all about...
We've heard that one. What about using these on the nails? Surely something exciting will happen here.
The stuff in this cupboard is as useless in reality as it was in the flashback.
Or maybe not. Lighter?
The stuff in this...
That's exactly the same. Key here?
The stuff in this...
That's exactly the same. Just being thorough, you never know what might be hidden away.
The stuff in this...
And now we'll use this on the cloth.
The stuff in this...
And then we'll use this on the cloth.
The stuff in...
Now we know that there have been some different interactions with the oil,
The stuff in this...
but not here.
The stuff in...
Or here. Finally, we'll use these on the marmalade.
The stuff in...
And that, just like everything else
The
here,
stuff in this...
has no interactions whatsoever with our new items, but it was worth checking. So now we shall go to the kitchen and put this key under the sink.
It's already cooled off.
And even if it wasn't, we know that there isn't any water in there anymore.
No, this little flame of hope shall never expire. Harvey!
Harvey! Don't make me angry at you again. I've only just forgiven you for last time. Now, let's use the key here.
This mushroom soup is the gateway to a strange and bizarre world. I'll take it later.
Good plan. Lighter?
I'd better not light a fire. I don't want to encourage the mushrooms.
Indeed. And now we can just go through this door. So let us use this on what remains of this plant.
Dad always used to hide the key in the begonias.
The killer's always the gardener, isn't it?
And now we shall use the lighter.
I can't offer any assistance here. It's just about ready for plant heaven.
That it is. Now let's go into the living room. And not forget that there is a window that we can interact with on that side of the landing that we were just on. First things first, let's actually use the lighter on the French door.
I should light some candles. It's all so dark.
Well, there are the remnants of candles there. If you can get them to stand up straight, you could use them.
It's as locked as it's gonna get.
So we cannot open that. Fair enough. Lighter here?
I might light a few candles later. Right now, I need to go to my room and get my memories back.
Will they be scented candles? If so, what scent?
Doors! Keys belong to doors.
Oh, that's right.
And there's the game helpfully reminding you once again of what keys are used for. But not always doors. Sometimes the lock is attached to something different.
Oh yeah, let's smoke the canvas.
Oh, Harvey.
We are not going to be doing that.
No, there's no safe hidden behind it.
We've already checked, so let's go out and use the key on the window.
It's as locked as it's gonna get.
That is to say, not especially well.
I should light some candles. It's all so dark.
Now let's go over to here and see if there are any different interactions with this plant.
I can't offer any assistance here. It's just about ready for plant heaven.
Which raises the
Just checking to see if there was anything different there. Now, the key.
Dad always used to hide the key until the day Harvey...
The killer.
Dad always used to hide the key in the begonias. Until the day Harvey and I played gardener.
The killer's always the gardener, isn't it?
Ah, there's a line that we haven't heard before. I wonder why that's missing from all of the other interactions with plants. Now, key with coat.
Dad never kept the key in his coat, thanks to my patented air-conditioned pockets.
Oh, we've heard of them before. Now, let us burn the coats. I highly doubt this is going to be something that will happen.
Let's burn all the old stuff.
And then?
Then we'll go looking for new stuff we can burn.
I highly doubt you're gonna find any new stuff anytime soon.
I wish I had the key to the other side of the mirror. I bet everything is still the same over there.
If it was, you could go and grab everything, and then the house would look as good as new, apart from all the wallpaper. And the grime.
I really don't want to know how I look in the light.
Fair enough. Let us go upstairs and look at other things, like these rooms here. We do have new items, so let's get a using them. First, we'll look at the picture and use the key.
I'll leave Dad's things alone.
Fair enough. What about the lighter?
I'll leave Dad...
I expected that, but it was worth giving it a go.
That's Mattis's bed. I have no business here.
Fair enough. One more thing to use here.
That's Mattis. I have no...
And now let's look at the other things in here, like the chair.
Shall we search for
Later, Harvey.
That's the same as before, and I've just remembered that we got the lighter in here, so let's not use the lighter from now on. Let's just use the key instead.
Shall we search for
Later, Harvey.
That's exactly the same.
I'll leave Dad's things.
That's exactly the same.
I'll leave Dad's things.
That's the same. And finally,
It's as locked as it's gonna get.
with there being a massive hole there, that's not very locked at all. Let us move on to the bathroom, where we shall use the key on the mirror.
I wish I had the key to the other side.
And then we shall use it on the sink.
I can wash my things tomorrow.
That you can. And finally, the tub.
It's already cooled off.
Let's check. Ooh, there is one more thing we can use it on. The water tap.
I can wash my things tomorrow.
We've explored this room. Time to go to the schoolroom, where there are quite a few things we can use this key on. Like the table.
Shall we search for
Later, Harvey.
And the chairs.
Shall we search
Later, Harvey.
These are probably going to yield exactly the same reaction, so let's use the key on the window.
It's as locked as it's gonna get.
And then on the chalkboard. I know what's going to happen with this, and I apologize in advance.
This used to be more fun.
We can also use this on the globe.
First my memory, then the world.
And finally, the cupboard.
No matter what you say, I will not get too close to the cupboard.
We're done in this room, so now it is time to go upstairs and use the key on the final few things before we open the door. The only things we can use it on are the window and the vase.
It's as locked as it's gonna get.
And finally, this.
Dad always used to hide the key in the begonias.
the killer's always the gardener, isn't it?
And there's another instance where we don't get that middle line. And so folks, when we come back, we now have the key to unlock Edna's room. Once we go in, everything will become clear. At least that's the hope. Hopefully she'll remember everything once she gets in there. And I hope that everything will help piece together what happened 10 years ago. Whether she's going to like what she learns is another question entirely. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.